Hey guys, welcome back to Drivable Gaming and welcome back to HumanitZ 1.0, another how-to video, even though this one is not about how to, if not where to. So let's talk about where would be the best locations to build your base. If you look over YouTube, you will see a lot of people saying, oh, go there, build over there, build at the castle, build at that POI, build at that prefab. Everything is going to be freaking fantastic. I'm not saying that it's not going to be fantastic. Even me right now, I built my base over here in a farm. So let me put it this way. Let me put it in a way that you would understand, all of you, how I decide where to live and what to do. Even though I didn't really think that in the farm over here it would be a good place for me, but let's start from the beginning. All right, so let's go. There are different types of places where you could actually build. You can build anywhere, in the woods, in the cities, in small villages, in isolated farms, whatever. There are two types of builds. Obviously, if you're going to be playing on a PvP server, you might want to consider, building somewhere hidden, like in the woods somewhere out of the way of any POIs or towns. But I'm going to be talking about a solo gameplay or a PvE gameplay, so let's start with that. As I was saying, there are different types of builds. If you want to build somewhere in the open, somewhere from scratch, build your base, let your imagination just expand and burst and have an awesome base, do that. If you want to build in some sort of isolated place like this one, a farm, I would really go with this type of build in a farm somewhere, and I'll tell you guys why. You have to consider that there are, let me see, do I have a hammer? I don't have a hammer on me. There are a lot of workstations, okay? And the game is forcing you in a way or another to gather up all the items that you find around in the world. So that means a lot of storages. All right, let me equip this and I'll show you. So as buildings, as workstations, sorry, you have 5, 10, 15, 18, all right? But you do have a lot of storages, sheds, stable, that is very big. The log storages, the fridges. You have different items for base defense as in electricity. You have traps, and obviously you have the other types of builds that you can do, right? Your rain collectors, your plots. All these will take a lot of room in your base. For example, I was lucky and I found bee hives, pollen collectors or whatever they're called. So I made 9. I got 1, 2, 3 sheds that are dedicated to food and all sorts of related, right? Crafting the gas and all that. Farm plots, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plus the small ones. And I would like to have, like, for example, at least 4 or 5 plots for each type of seed. And that requires a lot of room, a lot of space. Rain collectors. the compost bins. There's not to talk about the storages, which, to be frankly honest, I don't like the fact that I got my storages out in the open. So let me get it this way. Let me put it this way. All right. When you want to decide to build a base, you should think about the fact that you need a lot of room. If you build in the wild, in the open, in the woods somewhere, or on top of a hill, which I would really like because you can see all around, you will need a lot of room. Actually, a lot of room. It's not that I'm using that side, but it's not finished. The base is not finished yet. I still need to build a garage. That barn over there is closed. But yeah, we do have the barn for our horsey for power drills. So there's a lot to be placed in your base as workstations and additional builds. Now, there are a couple of spots where I would like, if I would start a new save on the game, I would like to build somewhere else. Maybe I would like to really unleash my building fantasies. And a couple of them are, like, for example, at the military outpost where the traders are in B1, there is a spot right above the toxic adventure, the toxic zone. There is a spot where I would like to build. It's a little bit above the place. I know it's toxic over there, but you can farm a lot of zeeks because they always respawn over there. It's a good place. You're close to the traders. If it would be for me to build somewhere in the open, I would definitely choose a spot near a main trader's post, not the small ones. All right, the small ones you will be visiting anyway. That would be a good spot. Obviously near a small village, or somewhere close to where you can grab materials. Another good reason to decide a place would be materials. At the beginning, it's going to be harsh, especially if you do not have a vehicle. It's going to be very harsh to gather up all the metal sheets, the scrap metal, which they weigh a ton. But there are certain places where you can go and do that. There is a spot, there are more than one spot, junkyards, where you have a lot of metal and cars actually, and you need to break them down so you'll have the materials. If you want to build in the open, consider a place where there are a lot of wood. There are a lot of factors. What I would say, just to end it, because there's no point to, you can actually build on the beach, on the shore of the ocean. Problem over there is that you do not have wood. It all comes down to you. At the end of the day, where you build, that is going to be your kingdom, and your kingdom will also always be awesome. It doesn't matter. Maybe you like my base, or maybe you don't. I definitely like my base, and that's gonna happen with you. You're gonna be building in a place, and that is going to be your kingdom. That is going to be your home. Everybody makes his home. I probably will say, oh, it's cool over there, but maybe I don't like it. But I won't tell you. But hey, it is your place. I would consider maybe a farm would be probably the best, because it's out of the way of, let's say, not in a town or in the open. Or somewhere near a town, find a house that is isolated from the little village or the town and take that over. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I will not say what all on YouTube say. Oh, the best locations. 5 best locations to build your base. 10 best locations to build your base. Not true. The best location for your base is the one that you start building on. Either it is a prefab, either in the woods, and you make it your kingdom. You make it your home. That is the best place. Obviously, there are a couple of things like I was saying. Try and be, if you have a vehicle, then it's no problem. But if you don't have a vehicle, try and build somewhere near a place where you can find a lot of resources. Do not forget, you will be needing the forge and all the ores. The ores are all over, scattered on the map. So that is not really a big issue. You take the vehicle and you say, today I'm going to be doing only ore. Fill up your vehicle with ores and you're good to go. So yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a video that will help you guys to understand where to build. I'm pretty sure everybody that plays the game has a place where they would want to build. And I'm going to repeat myself. There is no perfect location. Forget about all those. Don't get me wrong. Those videos are fabulous. But there is no such thing as the best location. If I would be a little weirdo, I would say the best locations to build your base is in a bunker. Not, not true. Not true. Wherever you decide to build, that is going to be the perfect place to build. Have a good one. See you on the next one. Take care.